Hey, how's it going? Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have another day of reading cards at you. And I just want to say that before I before I came on here, I did go ahead and look at my cards, of course, um, and I did read what the guidebooks had to say about them. And but before I did that, I started writing, and I know that there has to be a better way to do this, and eventually I'll get there. And I hope that you'll just bear with me in the meantime. Sorry, I hope that didn't make anybody sick to their stomach. Okay, so the first card I pulled was repairing the veil. I don't remember the number, but it doesn't matter. Repairing the veil. It's fragile right now, and it's been us under strain because as the veil has been thinning, it's allowed more light to pass through it. Things previously unseen were able to hide their true appearance with the help of the dimness. Some of us struggle to hide what they used to hide behind. Like a drought-stricken body of water, all kinds of surprises have been unveiled. And it's causing discomfort for some. Oh, it's causing discomfort. Oops. To some. The links to whatever they wanted to keep secret can now visibly display to whom they're connected. People, good folk once considered hidden and now gone. Oh, what the heck? Pardon me, I have to study this for a second. Causing discomfort to some. The links to whatever they wanted to keep secret can now visibly display to whom they're connected. People, good folk, once considered hidden and gone, now out in the open, and about some people and some, the links to whatever they wanted to keep secret can now visibly display to whom they are connected. People, good folk, once considered hidden and gone, now out in the open, and about some people another think is due. It sounded so good in my head. I think what I was trying to say here is that people were able to hide behind stuff that was hidden, like when the body of water was not drought stricken and displaying its ribs, basically, that have been stuffed with people's just dropping their secret stuff in there, thinking it's just going to be gone and hidden forever. And now they got another thing come in. So even though that was kind of garbled, I know it makes more sense than what I wrote. And I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it got lost in translation. Anyway, moving on. It was a team effort. It took... Uh-oh. I got my crazy paper again. It took a coordinated effort that couldn't have been successfully undertaken without the help. So now all hell's broken loose, and the reality of what the revered have been doing undercover is revealed, and it's not good. It's a lot. It's a lot of lies, and they've been aimed at you, your wallet, and whatever else you've got that looks good. You had Whoa. You had or little. Oh, I see. You had no or little idea it could happen, and in many cases, we have investigated little, and as a result, the offense and injury to the true believers has come unexpectedly. And it has had unexpected effects that radiate out from person zero to the rest of the world, the normies, even. For all of our individual truths and realities, all our quick elimination schemes, okay? You know, when people and situations get too intense and real, and rather than stay and deal, the easy answer has become no time, talk, end, kill, fire, deport, jail. Just get rid of it, and that only creates a more of them where that came from situation. And they will want you to pay for their lost ones and what they've lost on account of the figurative you. Instead of, wait, did that even make any sense? It was pretty halted, stilted, whatever, halting. Well, I guess to translate, I was saying that all of the stuff that people have been hiding, the reason why they were hiding it was because it was like a tool to use against you to get your stuff and you to do things. And it wasn't like it was all for your benefit or anything. It was completely like self-serving, predatory, and all that did once, like in the drought situation, when things could be seen for what they really were, was create like angry people that now want to come back and go, you know, hey, I want my money, I want my property, I want you to pay for, you know, whatever injury you like incurred upon my family or whatever, you know, like people want their payback because, you know, if they didn't know you were hiding stuff from them, specifically to take from them in a number of ways, well, then when they do find out, they're pissed. Like, you suckered me, I feel betrayed, I want, you know, blood, basically. But anyway, that's what I was saying. So I'll continue. Instead of diving right into and starting a cycle of tit for retaliation tag, how about we create a new game with a more productive dynamic? We team up as we have to create, we team up as we have to create the rent, we team up as we have to create the rent in the veil. And we take strenuous action, put our welfare in the hands of another, neither of whom alone represent any one injury to the veil. It took the struggling of opposing sides to make it happen, to make it stressful and wear thin. Our combined attention to making those repairs, as we neglected to in our inattention to how we've been affecting it through our actions, then we can repair and renew it and dispel any lingering anger trying to haunt its displeasure with the renovation. By giving new life to the veil, we can salvage... Whoa. Forgot about that. By giving new life to the veil, we can salvage ourselves in relation to each other and instill a new enlightenment to the fabric. So basically, I was saying, like, if the veil is got like tears and rips in it that need repair, it I feel like we tend to blame each other for stuff that's not necessarily our fault. We're sort of, in a lot of ways, victim of happenstance. We agree to a lot of stuff that we don't really understand, or we're sort of misled by what we're told and the people telling us the things. So remember, I looked at the stuff that I'm about to pull out now, the cards and the guidebook, but I did not look at them before I wrote all that. So I pulled a shaman oracle, shaman's dream oracle card, number 45, and it's repairing the veil. And there it is. It says forgiveness. Now, when I looked at that illustration, do you see the red lace there that's kind of trying to string the two sides together? Well, when I first looked at it, I saw a bunch of people, like for each lace hole, it's like a head, but you can see like the lace going through all of the lace holes, but there's also like these little energy streams and sparks and things that are happening. And it still kind of looks like each lace hole is a head. Like there's dark heads and faces, and then there's like a blonde Caucasian face and an arm. And it's like the energy streams, the bodies are like red and they're leaning like head up here, and the foot over here is getting a foothold. And then the one that I said looked kind of Caucasian has like a red outfit, but it's like crossing, and its foot is back here, Caucasian foot, back here in the foothold, and that's its head, and it's like reaching forward with its energy stream, and it's mixing with the energy stream of the next head and body. Do you see what I'm saying? It looks like a bunch of people like doing their utmost with their bodies to together pull with the lace, the veil, the sides of the veil back together to repair it. And it, you know, like I just kind of intuited the part that I wrote about, like it didn't get torn like in a vacuum. Like it wasn't a one-sided clap that created the percussion that made the tear happen in the veil. It, like I said, it was a team effort. Everybody was a participant, willing, consciously, don't matter. You know, like I would say if you know about it, you have an involvement in it in some way. And I'm not saying that that only would apply to this veil thing. Like I watched a lot of politics. Well, I do anyway, but you know, it's kind of like a lot of stuff going on right now with the president, the former president, 45, having like a second indictment and having to go down and be arrested and do the whole perp walk and everything. It's kind of interesting to have it with like road closures and SUVs and Secret Service agents, and it looks more like somebody going to a movie premiere or the president or something than somebody like checking into jail because they, you know, did wrong things. But it was a spectacle. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Unnecessary, in my opinion. Like I think they should have like left the whole like driving to and from, like it just looks too glamorous. Like I said, it looks like somebody going to a movie premiere. I think it just took the wrong tone, but nobody asked me. I wasn't there to offer an opinion, just after the fact. Armchair poop talking. But the thing that I notice a lot though is that there are sides that we sort of take on, and what gets me is the things that we get excited about and like even angry about and with each other about it, and are so intent on who's right and who's wrong and getting all upset about it. It's like, yeah, but did you even come up with any of that yourself, or did you like hear stuff somewhere and then think like, oh, that's the thing to do, and wait, they're doing it too, I should do it? Like, no. And the reason I say that is because like I think when you're of a mind to look at something like that in a more critical way than just sort of accepting it because it seems like a good idea at the time and you kind of like it, at some point, we begin to see things in a different way where it's like we realize our perception that is something we can look at as a past thing and go, oh, I don't feel like that anymore. That feels wrong. Like it's the technical term is you change your mind. But a lot of things can trigger that. It could be age, and it's always your level of consciousness. And age doesn't always have to factor into that as far as the depth of sort of knowledge and emotional maturity that you'll get as you both age and also gain more like consciousness in the way of like self-awareness and how you are affecting the world around you more so than in the past where we're like everything's doing stuff to us. And part of the realization that came with that consciousness for me was that there's no one-sided anything. In fact, it's not even two sides. It's like just, everything like exponentially radiates from stuff that happens, events. Nothing. No one does anything alone. Like at some point, what you do will affect someone later, even if it's someone you don't even know and will never meet. That's just kind of the way the puzzle works. But, well, I got really off track on that. But I guess my point is the things that happened that tore the veil open, let's say, were not like optimal, not great, and you want to fix it because it's not supposed to have a hole in it. It's supposed to be whole, like of a piece, and it's like anything functions better. Like if it were a sail, it'd be pretty useless with a big old hole right down the middle of it. So you have to fix it, and the way to fix it and to repair it well and have the joins, mate and marry and stay stuck is to, again, do it together. And so I would say that it might take a minute for all of us to get there to that, to agree to that. But I think we'll get there because we're pushing each other so hard that, God, so situations like that, something has to break. That's just like the way of things. But anyway, the card, as I was looking at it, there's butterflies. Have you ever seen like a butterfly with transparent wings? They're pretty amazing. They totally look like something somebody built until they start moving and you're like, whoa, that is a real thing. But here's one down here feeding on some nectar, and I am not sure the significance of that except for they represent rebirth, and maybe the fact that it's see-through means like getting together the two opposing forces to work together like these people that I see are, is something that we can't picture. We don't know what that looks like. So if that was a screen, if those see-through wings were a screen, it would be not showing anything right now. And then this is one too. Like it's also a butterfly, but it has this greenish blue thing, and it kind of looks like a cup. And I know it's wings. Like you can see it goes boop and then boops out again, and that's a butterfly. And it's also see-through, but it looks like it looks like a snowman, little head right there, and then snowman body, and it looks like it's holding a cup, and then it also looks like it's a flower, I think. But when I was just holding it up and looking at it in my hand, it looks like a little cup is right next to it. Like you can see a dark spot, and then a little sort of like it could be a cup. But then I realized the reason why that green thing looks like a cup to me is because it's similar, like mine's light blue, but it's got that same shape. It's got like a dark metal band. Well, it's not dark. It's silver, but sometimes in the light it looks dark. And then also the lid on mine is see-through, and it can look dark, but that's like the light influencing it, you know. Well, maybe I should have some. I don't know what all of that means. I don't know the significance of that with everything else I just said. Maybe it'll come to me later. Maybe it'll come to you right away or later. I don't know. You could say, there's a place you could say if you had an opinion. Feel free. So yeah, I don't know what this thing is though. I first, the color of it made me think signal box, but there's like it's in the middle of a field. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me later. And I also I went to pull a card from my Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, but two popped out, so I took them. And the first one is the elephant. And I mean, right away, there's a lot of things I get from this card, and it doesn't even really require a whole ton of like knowledge about the reading of cards. But you know, the elephant is a Indian god, and it has many powers and beneficial qualities, and it's like a beloved one of their god pantheon. It's very positive and represents abundance and like all kinds of good things. But if you see here, this elephant, and it's got a bindi on its forehead, the red dot on its head. Is that a heart? No, it's just got a light reflection right where like the cleft of a heart would be. But anyway, it is also like a older, like it represents strength and wisdom, because this elephant has been through it, like so old and wrinkled you can not really make out its eyes anymore. How do you see where you're going? Oh, it's got that nose, and you know, it can touch stuff and feel with its nose like fingers and stuff. Prehensile, that's what I was trying to say. But the tusks, well, that's what I mean. Like it's been through it, fought or suffered some kind of injury, or maybe even like the tusk hunters got to it. I don't know, but you see this elephant has survived. So obviously it's going to represent like everything it takes to be able to stick around that long, and like the internal stamina that you need, that, you know, maybe it's not like weightlifting physically, but you lift other weighty subjects with your mind and your heart and your soul. I guess. I don't know. This is just spontaneous. So I will. And it's got it's fire. And I always relate to that because I am a Sagittarius, and that is a fire sign. Anyway, so what the guidebook says is elephant, unstoppable, auspicious, wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon come clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction, like having an immovable object in your way that knows better than you when you want to charge ahead and just plunks down in front of you and says, "Nope, no, go this way. You shall not pass." Sorry about that. It just interjected. Where was I? Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. And I just realized that I skipped a page of what I wrote somehow. But anyway, it goes on to say, when in balance, one pointed focus, generous, loving. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. I can understand that because sometimes you can't get what you want and your ego to stay out of like stuff that you're better left like you've done enough, stand aside, stop trying to control things. And then when you think you can, I think that's that's a misunderstanding of fate. And to bring into balance, trust. So trust what? Trust who? Well, trust the plan. And I'm laughing, but I'm not necessarily talking about the Q plan because I'm not real sure what all that plan is, especially like now, because when I knew stuff about those people, it was at the very beginning of us even knowing about the QAnons, and all of those people I haven't talked to in years now, and all of the ones now sound completely different and are talking about stuff that, I mean, there was a time where I could say, I can see how, like, there could be truth to that, but it's not what you think. It's not like any of, like, the Q and Trump stuff that, it's other stuff. But I'm not talking about that right now. Well, why did I bring it up? I don't even remember. I read on Twitter yesterday, there was a question someone was asking, what was the first Mandela effect you noticed? And I was like, I don't remember. Because it's timelines changing, and it actually happens, I guess, pretty frequently. And sometimes it's a real jostle, and it's a startling thing where it's like a sign that you've passed by every day for 10 years on your way to work. Suddenly the color of a crucial element is different, or the crucial element is gone completely, and everything else basically looks normal. Like, it was that kind of thing with the Qs. It's like, I know that sort of stuff happens, and that's last thing I said about the color change or the feature change. The thing that's really odd about it is not everyone notices them, and that's also why you forget, because for people that don't notice, the sort of amnesia is complete. Like, they don't even remember that. Let me try that again. That sounded like a what do you call that thing that 2 Chainz uses for the voice all the time? Anyway, it sounded artificial, so I will try it again. And now I remember what I was saying. Crap. Well, poo-poo. Now I can't remember. Oh, the cues and the Mandela thing. If you notice it, that's a consciousness thing. Like, you're like open to it, and because you're open to it, it allows your other processes to be open to not just the idea, but the actual ability to perceive that a change has happened. And also, like, the first one I noted, and it was when I was a kid in the 70s, and I got a Berenstain Bears book. Now, I got that book, And I knew it said Berenstain, and it just messed with my head because all I could think was Bernstein, not even Berenstein. Like it just changed the word completely, right? And that's a big one especially when you're first hearing about the Mandela effect. Those books come up right away because a lot of people will have seen them, and a lot of people will say, well, isn't it Bernstein? And other people know it's Berenstain. But here's the thing about that. I don't think is a Mandela effect thing. I think that's just a people perception thing. And it's just like it's easier to say it the way it was easier for me to say Bernstein because I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood and it was a name that was familiar to me that easily rolled off my tongue. Berenstain, not difficult, but just similar but different enough to be really annoying when you're trying to talk about it. But the reason why I don't think that's a Mandela effect thing is because where I live, like some exits away from where I am on the freeway, there's a state park. And it's called Miller Sylvania. And I could read it on the road sign just fine that there was an extra syllable that I would say the word and leave out. So I would say Millersvania, because it just is easier to say. And I guess it was irritating this friend I used to have. And finally, after a couple of years, she like turned around and snapped at me and was all, "It's Miller Sylvania." I was like, Jesus, sorry. I didn't mean to insult your grandchild or whatever. But I mean, after they told me that, I was like, okay, now I just can't even do that anymore. Like the easy way, now I gotta be on Miller, baby. But I mean, I think that's what happened with the Berenstain Bears. I think it's just easier to say. You kind of expect it. It's not for everyone, but it's going to be more familiar to say it wrong than to say it correctly for a lot of people. And I got way off track. So I'm like burning time here. Ooh, okay, real quick. So the other card I pulled was the Cosmic Egg card. And it's Pride Month, so that's interesting that I pulled out a rainbow egg. I don't really have a lot to add about this card, so I have thoughts, but I'm just going to read the book, just to hurry up and get it over with, because I yapped about this other crap. Cosmic Egg, completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. I like that because I'm always saying that it's possible to travel without leaving your physical location. The Cosmic Egg is the final card in the Journey of the Animal Spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils, ding, of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Remember what I was talking about earlier about ripping and tearing and then, mending and repairing? Disconnected from others. We're really not. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The Cosmic Egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded that the cosmic contract written at the beginning of our lives, there's that soul contract thing again I'm always talking about, we hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. I'm just going to read that last sentence again since I had to burst in with my stupid smug remark. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded that the cosmic contract written at the beginning, We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. And so it touched upon this card, like the guidebook, all three of the cards touched upon something that I had talked about in my notes there that I read earlier. But like I said, I forgot to read a page because there was a whole part about, and I actually talked about this yesterday too, just real quick. Because one of the things, as I said, I was watching some politics stuff before this, and one of the things is the slogan that comes up all the time is "drain the swamp." And like now that the swamp is drained, well, I mean, I did kind of talk about it, so I guess never mind. I thought I didn't read it, but I did. Never mind. It's all cool. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say, and thank you, and good night.